with Cushman and Dimitro on the front row. Going a little wide on the start there was Cushman. It's a little bit of an ugly start, but Dimitro's going to get away with the advantage. Here comes Dustin Duga. He's won everything there is to win in a V6 this year, a defending champion of this class from last year, and he's already going for the lead on lap 1 of this heat race, trying to find a way around Dimitro. He'll do so, slide up the racetrack. That opens the door for Dimitro, who can't hold it down low. Duga's going to lead lap 1.
Dustin Duga pulling out in front so far. Good ride from him. Zach Dimitro out there in second, just about single file throughout this whole heat. And the number 1 is there in third, 27 in fourth. 2 laps in, Dustin Duga with a good ride here in the early lead for the V6s.
Junior 15S, that's Cushman. No number on the driver's side, only on the passenger side of that Pontiac ride, and he's currently riding in third as of right now. Everybody chasing Dustin Duga, who's coming a halfway this time out in front of the field. Duga leads. Dimitro, Cushman. Oh, Tino Ronning and Mussick get together. That could have been close. Both cars able to save it. It looks like Mussick got a little bit of front end damage to that, but nothing more than a bent fender. Maybe a tire rub on that thing, but they can pull that out. Duga's continuing to lead, coming to 2 to go.
2 laps to go. Dustin Duga firmly out in front. He's also going to be in our Van Sickle Pet Value PB on the Lane 4-cylinder division shortly. Zach Dimitro still holding on strong there in the second. Joe Cushman in the Junior 15 RS is there in third. 1 lap to go here in this V6 heat. It has been all Dustin Duga. Good ride from him.
White flag in the air. One more time around. Everybody chasing Duga. Dimitro rides there in the 13Z in second. Cushman third. Ronning trying to close in to maybe take that third position away out of corner number 4. We're going to see our leader take the checkers here. Give a call. The Dustin Duga wins another one in the 14 Double D. One car going way wide. That's Dimitro, slides it up on corner exit, makes it close at the stripe. Dimitro's going to hang on, and Cushman's going to hang on to a tight battle there as Ronning got to the inside of Cushman there. Mussett's going to round out the field of 5 cars. Looks like one car joining late. I believe that is the 11, Mike Pinball Guyberson, and the Sunfire looking machine at the back there. Meanwhile, as things go green, a little sideways there is Obey, and that's going to jam everybody up, but Obey's going to keep it rolling. That's good. Up at the front, battles on for the lead. Trevor DeBoer needs to have a good night if he wants to keep the points battle alive heading into the final week. DeBoer trying to get underneath Hadler in this heat. Tyler LaFontaine going around the 77 trying to make his way up to the front of the field. Tyler LaFontaine can really wrap up this championship here tonight in the 4 cylinders. Couple points battles already decided, a couple that are very tight, and some that might be able to be wrapped up tonight. We'll keep you updated on those as we go and head into championship weekend next weekend. Trevor DeBoer out front.
2 laps in, Trevor DeBoer out in front, Richard Hadler in second. However, Tyler LaFontaine is right there with him. Looking to go into that inside line to catch Hadler for that second spot. He's just about side by side with him now. However, it is halfway through heat number 1 of our 4 cylinders, and it is the 23 of Trevor DeBoer out in front as your leader.
DeBoer leads. Hadler doing a great job hanging on to second as they run right now. Tyler LaFontaine trying to find a way underneath up off of corner number 4. Looks like he's going to be able to complete that pass coming to 2 to go.
Trevor DeBoer out in front, and now the good battle going on there for the second spot between LaFontaine, who started out in the very back of the pack, is now up there into second. Richard Hadler out there in third. About a 3-car battle there going on for that 4th spot. Coming up on the white flag of heat number 1, a good ride from Trevor DeBoer out in front.
Top 3 cars have really broken away in this one with Trevor DeBoer out front over LaFontaine, Hadler. Then there's some tight racing there as Kelly gets bounced around. The 77 pinballing around as well. And speaking of pinball, Guyberson is just outside the top 5, trying to bust his way in. Checkers in the air. DeBoer wins it over LaFontaine Hadler, coming to the stripe. It's going to be Cuse who grabs 4th away from the 77. Anderson and Allway out front of this one for the start. They fire together at the blue noodle and 4. Green flag in the air. 3, even 4 wide on the initial start of this one. Wow, what a move from both the 13 of Pagnotta, and Hughes trying to make his way up through that one as well. Jeremy Hughes coming off a win last night in the 10J over at Oshwegan. Working underneath Randy Allway right now as Vincent Pagnotta is going to lead lap number 1 in the 13 Mustang.
Pagnotta with the early advantage. Just about single file there, 1 through 4. With that Jeremy Hughes out there in second. Randy Allway out there in third, and the number 14, Elif Lubeck, is there in 4th. 2 laps in. Coming up on 2 laps into heat number 2, it is Vincent Pagnotta out in front, while Jeremy Hughes not too far behind him.
Pagnotta out front, Hughes all the way doing a good job holding off Lubeck, who's trying to challenge on the outside. Hansen going around the 4 of Anderson now. Hughes less than a car length back of Pagnotta. Coming to halfway this time, it's Pagnotta. Then Hughes battles on for 3rd. Lubeck trying to take it on the outside. He'll do so. Goes around the 34, but all the way not done. Still side by side as they work through 1 and 2. Our feature winner from the heat winner from the V6s, Dustin Duga, currently riding in 5th position. Coming to 2 laps to go. It's still Pagnotta, Hughes out front, with now Lubeck in 3rd.
Pagnotta and Hughes beginning to separate themselves from the field here. Pagnotta still out in front, followed by Hughes in second. Number 14, Elif John Lubeck is there now in 3rd. And Randy Allway is holding on into that 4th spot, side by side between Dustin Duga and Nico Hansen for that 5th spot. White flag in the air. It is Vincent Pagnotta still out in front.
Pagnotta, Hughes, Lubeck, Allway, Duga, your top 5 into the final corner. Coming to the checkers. Pagnotta leaves some room on the bottom side, but Hughes not going to get there. The 10J will settle for 2nd. Vincent Pagnotta wins it. Lubeck 3rd, Allway 4th, and at the stripe, give 5th spot to Nico Hansen. Green flag in the air. It's Iftadi getting a great jump. Deagle following suit on the outside. Outside lane is definitely moving into corner number 1. Kenny Hare stuck behind the 34 of Winiger, trying to find a way around. And on the outside, there's the 09 of Barrick. Clinton Barrick, last week's winner in the 4 cylinders. Around the outside comes the 09. Iftadi's going to lead lap 1 over Deagle, Worstro, and Barrick.
Iftadi with a good jump out there in front, 1 lap in. And the number 12 there just moved on up there in the second. 71 of Worstro and Clinton Barrick side by side for that 3rd spot with Kenny Hare not too far there in the mix. Couple of laps in here, just about 2 laps in. It is the 38S of Sam Iftadi, your leader.
Good battle from about 2nd on back as Deagle opens the door down low for Worstro, who slides up now, and it's going to be Kenny Hare going underneath the 71. 3 wide for 3rd into turn number 3. The 5K down low. The 71 of Worstro in the middle. Clinton Barrick on the outside is going to slide back. Still side by side for that 3rd position. Hare and Worstro door to door into corner number 1. Deagle, where is he going to go? As both cars had a run on the 12 in 2nd spot. Iftadi out in front by a couple car lengths into 3 and 4 now. Deagle rides there in 2nd. Worstro goes to the high side. Kenny Hare's going to go low. They're still trying to work past the 12 of Deagle with 2 to go.
2 laps to go. Sam Iftadi beginning to break away just that much more. Mark Deagle and Kenny Hare. Also Austin Worstro into that mix for that 2nd spot. Clinton Barrick not too far behind them there. It's about a 4-car battle for that 2nd spot. 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go. The 38S of Iftadi out in front.
If Toddy in control of this one, Hare's going to try to get by Deagle, who's doing a great job holding on the outside. Worstrow stuck there behind the 12. Here comes the 09 of Barrick trying to make the move on the 71 down low into 3 and 4 for the final time. Tight racing there, a little bit of contact between the 09 and the 71. If Toddy wins it over Hare, Deagle, Worstrow, and the 09 of Barrick. Tight racing amongst the top 5 in heat number 3 of the Van Sickle Pet Value PV on the Lane 4 cylinders. Green flag in the air, Slider and Slider lead him to the stripe. Still in Slider in the white number 1, who's going to get out in front of this one while Riley Slider's dropping back in the 6. Around the outside comes Chris Watson in the 07 to challenge for the lead into 3 and 4. Slider, Watson, Pitts, and Bigelow the top 4 after lap 1.
Big move from Chris Watson there, who started out in the 6th spot. Made a big move onto that outside line to take the lead away from Dylan Slider. And the number 16 of Brett Bigelow, who started out in 7th, he's winning his way into 3rd. It's almost a 3-car battle there for that lead. However, it's 2 laps in, and it is Chris Watson out in front, but look out for Brett Bigelow. He just took the lead away from Watson.
Brent Bigelow out in front, currently the championship points leader here at Merrittville Speedway. Has an advantage over Josh Slider, but cannot rest easy. A lot of DNS early in the year kind of hampered his points situation, so Josh Slider's been able to keep it close, and the rest of the field behind them pretty tight as well. Bigelow, however, driving away with this one. Pitts now trying to take over 2nd from the 07 of Watson. Watson settles back into line. 2 laps to go, and it's Brent Bigelow out front.
Brent Bigelow beginning to break away from the pack. Just that much more, almost a full straightaway lead over RJ Pitts, who is now into that 2nd spot. Chris Watson and the number 27 of Sean Iftani battling it out for the 3rd spot. White flag in the air. It has been all Brent Bigelow.
Bigelow took the lead after the 2nd lap and has just driven away ever since. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. Here is Brent Bigelow. He sees the sunshine. He sees the checkers first. Brent Bigelow wins heat number 1 of the Rona Deutsch Mod Lights over RJ Pitts, Sean Iftani, Chris Watson, and Leroy Buscombe. Cornish gets a little sideways coming to the stripe. Corbett up there on the outside. Carr's trying to work over the front row here. Winger's going low to get around Corbett. And look at Josh Slider shot out of a cannon on the outside down the back straightaway. Cornish, Slider, Winger. That's the top 3. And look at Josh Slider looking for more after 1 lap.
Dave Cornish out in front after that 1st lap. However, as I just said, that big move there from the number 17 of Josh Slider. He just took the lead away from Cornish. Tyler Winger is in the mix as well, trying to go to that outside line there to catch Cornish for that 2nd spot. He's going to stay committed to that one. A couple of laps in, it is now Josh Slider out in front.
Josh Slider out in front, in control of this one. Chasing Brent Bigelow in the title standings as we see halfway in this heat. Bigelow currently out in front of Slider by 20 points. Winger sits 31 back and Sean Iftani 51 back. Reminder, a driver has to have at least a 60-point advantage over any other driver to clinch their position in the standings heading into the final race.
Josh Slider firmly in command here. Tyler Winger is holding on strong to 2nd. Number 6 of Rob Meisner in 3rd. Dave Cornish in the 291 is now up there in the 4th. White flag in the air for the last lap of heat number 2. It is Brent Bigelow. I should say Josh Slider.
Josh Slider really running away with this one. The 2 favorites in the division establishing that they are good to go tonight. Could be another Slider Bigelow classic. Checkers in the air. Slider's going to win this heat over Winger, Meisner, Cornish, and Ryan Anderson. Want and Teeple on the front row. They'll fire together at the Blue Noodle in 4. Green flag. Pellerein all over the back bumper of Want, looking for the middle line, and has his door slammed as Jason Fontaine hangs tough on the outside. Top 4 cars really breaking away here. out in front. Want and Teeple still side by side. Thought about making it 3 wide, now does. It's Jason Fontaine trying to get him come through the middle underneath Teeple. 3 wide for second. Everybody chasing Trevor Want.
Pretty competitive battle going on so far in heat number 1 of the Hoosier Stocks. Trevor Want out there in front so far. It's about a side-by-side there between Jason Fontaine and Go Fast Teeple. Kyle Pelrine in the mix there as well. Almost 4 cars in that middle mix for that second spot. Couple of laps in, 2 laps in. It is Trevor Want out in front.
Trevor Want hanging on to a lead. Got the heat win last weekend, trying to make it 2 in a row this week, but Jason Fontaine is there and challenging into 3 and 4. There's the 1J going low, trying to slide underneath Trevor Want and clear to the lead. He'll do so. Takes the lead at the stripe.
3 laps in, Jason Fontaine now out in front as the leader. Side by side between Kyle Pelrine and Trevor Want out there for that second spot. Kyle Haynes in the number 22, who started out in second, is now on his way into that. Whoa, a little contact there between Pelrine and Jason Fontaine. All kept it out. It's 3 wide as we get to halfway. But it's Jason Fontaine out in front. Pretty competitive battle out there, I'll tell you.
Lots of contact a little further back in the pack between the 2 and the 25. I believe that last time coming up off of corner 4, Fontaine just got a little bit loose, and that really allowed the Pelrine and Want machines to close on the 1J. Fontaine continues to lead. Pelrine, Want, Haynes and Sheehan doing battle there. The 22 and 2. 22 down low, 2 of Sheehan up high. They settle back into formation. A little bit of contact there. Sheehan drives into the rear end of the 22 of Haynes. 2 laps to go in this one.
2 laps to go, and it's been a pretty competitive battle here in heat number 1 of the Hoosier Stocks. Fontaine out in front there, Pelrine not too far behind him. Trevor Want holding strong in the 3rd, and Kyle Haynes in the number 22 is trying to go out of that inside line to catch Trevor Want for that 3rd spot. White flag in the air, Jason Fontaine out in front.
One more time around, does Kyle Pelrine have anything for Jason Fontaine? Down the back straightaway. Pelrine about a half car length back into corner 3 and 4 for the final time. Fontaine slides it out a little slideways. He'll come to the checkers with the win though. Wins it over Pelrine. Want, Sheehan ends up 4th, and Haynes ends up 5th. Couture and Jim Lampman. Nice tight start on this one. Into corner number 1, Jim Lampman sails it up to the outside with Donnie Lampman, his son, right there in hot pursuit. Everybody trying to go around the bat rod of John Couture, who says, not so fast. I'm enjoying this inside line, and I'm going to try to hang on to the lead on this lap. Slides up the racetrack, not going to be able to keep it even with Jim Lampman. Jim Lampman will lead lap 1.
Big move from Jim Lampman on that first lap as he is now taking over the lead over John Couture in that bat rod. Side by side between Bleach, and can't quite see the other one there, Dave Bailey. It's Dave Bailey there in the mix in that 3rd spot as well. 2 laps into heat number 2 of the Hoosier Stocks. It is Jim Lampman, your leader.
Starting to get single file at the front of the pack, although the crazy alien, Pete Reed, trying to find a way up inside the top 4. Battling there, looking to the inside of the Queenston Chev Brewster Baker ride of Dave Bailey. Bailey goes to the outside of Bleach now, as Bleach is trying to find a way around Couture, who's trying to go back to the lead in the bat rod. John Couture right up in front, trying to battle there with Jim Lampman through corners 1 and 2. Coming to halfway this time, and Jim Lampman doing a good job holding off John Couture's advances for now. But Couture not going away in this one. They're side by side, wheel to wheel at the stripe. Oh, still Lampman out front by a nose.
Halfway through there, it's actually about a 3-car battle there for that lead. John Couture, Jim Lampman, as well as Zach Bleach, but look out for Pete Reed and Dave Bailey as well. Reed and Bailey are side by side for that lead as well. 3 laps to go. Jim Lampman is out in front, but it's anybody's game with a couple of laps to go.
It's a traffic jam up front. Here comes Pete Reed, 3 wide down the back straightaway, as Couture now is loping the door down low. Reed on the extreme inside, and Bleach is going to get a little sideways. He's going to climb the racetrack there, and now Reed is looking for more into corner 1 and 2.
2 laps to go, and really it is anybody's game with the 2 laps to go here. Lampman's still out in front. However, Pete Reed, he's trying to find that inside line to catch him, and he is going to do just that. Lampman went a little bit too far onto that outside line. And he is now in the third, white flag in the air. Pete Reed in the number 05 out in front.
Great moves from Pete Reed. Oh, contact car around in the bottom side of 1 and 2. That's Zach Bleach. And Couture is around also in the bat rod machine. Pete Reed gonna come to checkers in yellow here, I would assume. Reed will win it over Jim Lampman, Dave Bailey, Donnie Lampman, and Mike Klazinga. Wild heat race action there in heat number 2 from the Hoosier Stocks. Good preview for what is to come tonight. Staley and Mutton will be coming to green this time. Green flag in the air. 6 great sprints trying to settle this first heat here. Tight racing in the back of the pack as Mike Bowman's trying to come from the last place on the grid up to third within half a lap. Around the inside and up into the outside. Bowman settles into third with Staley out in front.
Adrian Staley, your early leader. Number 39 of Jonah Mutton out there in second. And Mike Bowman, who started out the very back of the pack, made himself a big move, trying to make an even bigger move to get to that second spot. Not quite there yet. And 2 laps into this first heat of the Action Sprint Tour, it is Adrian Staley out in front.
Staley out front. Then it's Mutton running in second, fresh off kidney stone surgery earlier this week. Back in the race car and doing a great job trying to hold off one of the best here at Merrittville, Mike Bowman. He's already won more than a few crate sprint events in his rookie year. He was also the defending 358 modified champion from last year here at Merrittville. Halfway at the stripe.
Halfway through, Adrian Staley beginning to break away from the pack just that much more. Almost a full straightaway lead over the 71 of Mike Bowman. Number 39 of Jonah Mutton there in third. And in the fourth spot is the 16R of Seth Roy. Almost 2 laps to go here in this first heat. And it is Adrian Staley with a good ride from him so far as your leader.
Staley up front. Bowman second. Mutton third. Roy, Bender, Nanacoke your field as they run. Coming a white flag this time. The 50 LS showing strong at the front of the field. Adrian Staley. Bowman doing a nice job riding there in second after starting 6th. Down the back straightaway and into 3 and 4 for the final time. Give a call to Adrian Staley, who's going to wrap up heat number 1 in the Action Sprint Tour, fueled by Pinty's over Mike Bowman, Jonah Mutton, Seth Roy, Sheldon Bender, and Brian Nanacoke. The full throttle lawn care class, Cameron Book, Savannah Fontaine, and Nicholas Stoltz. Green flag in the air here in the Action Sprint Tour. A reminder to keep up with our Merrittville Karting Club. Alan Downey's going to lead lap number 1, it appears, over Ashton Van Every as they break out from the front row with the advantage. The 20 of Johnny Miller rides third in the Oswegan car.
Good ride from Alan Downey so far. And there the lead, Ashton Van Every holding on there in the second. The number 20 of Johnny Miller, who started out in the 5th spot, has now moved his way on up into 3rd. And it's a side-by-side battle for that 4th spot. Alan Downey coming up on 3 laps into this heat number 2. Looking really good out there as your leader.
Bardier gets around Rose that previous lap and now is trying to hang on to 4th spot as Rose thought about making a move to the outside. Miller's starting to reel in Van Every for 2nd, but everybody chasing Alan Downey out front as he sees halfway at the stripe.
Halfway through heat number 2. I'll tell you what, Alan Downey's got almost well-blast a full straightaway lead over his latest competitor. That would be Ashton Van Every. And also, look at the number 20 car there. Number 20 of Johnny Miller. He's trying to get himself into the mix for that 2nd spot. 3 laps to go. It has been all Alan Downey.
Downey up front, then Van Every. The 20 of Miller. Bardier starting to close in on the 20 of Miller. 2 laps to go here. Out in front, Alan Downey in control. Van Every starting to drive back away from Miller, who's had to go on the defense. As down the back straightaway, Matthew Bardier starting to close in on that 3rd position. White flag in the air. Alan Downey out front. down the front stretch. Van Every, and then side by side for third. A little bit of contact there as Miller touches wheels briefly with the 19 of Bardier. That could have been a bigger deal, but everybody keeps it clean and green. Coming to the checkers, Alan Downey wins it over Aston Van Every. Johnny Miller, Stephen Bardier, or excuse me, Matthew Bardier, Austin Rose, and Lance Erskine. With Dykstra out front and Dryden in the 12DD. Two of the best in the crate sprints out front in this one. Into corner number one. Look at the crossover move. Dryden tried to pull it off, couldn't do it, and that's going to allow the BS39 of Brett Stratford to come through for second. He's trying to make his way underneath the 12DD. Meanwhile, it's Dykstra leading lap one.
Jacob Dykstra out in front so far. However, that 39 car of Brett Stratford, he made a pretty big move out there on that last lap to get into that second spot. And the number 12 double D of Darren Dryden is now holding on into third. 2 laps in, it is Jacob Dykstra out in front.
Dykstra leads Stratford, Dryden, Powless, and McKinnon. Dykstra in control of this one. Stratford had some good advances early, but has now dropped a few car lengths off of Dykstra as he's enjoying that clean air. Out front is Jacob Dykstra. Halfway at the stripe for Jacob Dykstra on the JR's Riverside bait and tackle machine.
Halfway through, Jacob Dykstra still firmly holding on to the lead. Just about side by side, or actually it should say it's single file throughout this heat now. The 39 of Brett Stratford out there in second, and still holding on strong in the third is Darren Dryden. 3 laps to go. Almost a full straightaway lead for Jacob Dykstra.
Darren Dryden taking that beautiful number 12 machine around, trying to catch the 39, the DJD graphics machine. Darren using his own business to fund his racing career with help from 3M. And of course, has tons of great designs that he has done for drivers, being whether it be helmets or race cars themselves. Still working over this 39. That's the tightest battle on the racetrack as Jacob Dykstra sees turn 3 and 4 for the final time. He's going to win it. Who will finish second? Stratford's going to hang on to it over Dryden. Then Powless will bring it home fourth, and McKinnon will round out the field of 5 cars in heat number 3 of the Action Sprint Tour, fueled by Pinty's. Green flag in the air. Ferry and Flanagan lead him into corner number 1. On the outside is Flanagan, the 74, the 1 down low. Into 3 and 4. Still tight racing for the lead. There's Ferry doing all he can to keep the pressure on, but Flanagan is going to lead lap number 1.
Dave Flanagan inched his way out in front there. Into the lead, Ryan Ferry is there in second. Luke Carlton, not too far. Actually, he's about side by side with Ferry, going to that inside line. They catch him for that second spot, and he's going to do just that. 2 laps in, it is Dave Flanagan Jr. and the number 74, your early leader.
There's a log jam that last time through 3 and 4 as Susie ran out of room, had to slam on the brakes, and then the wood machine got into him. Then Chevalier tried to avoid and got a piece of it, and Williamson almost got into the McTavish machine. Everybody chasing Flanagan, though, and everybody able to keep their cars clean and green through the field as they get ready to come to halfway this time. It's Flanagan, Luke Carlton, and Freddie Carlton. Of course, Freddie Carlton debuting a brand new Wagner 6.2-liter motor tonight. This is an experiment similar to Merrittville's experiment with the 602 crate and the Broadix heads that are now used in the Dirt Car Northeast Division. Freddie going to receive no points, no pay if he finishes inside the top 5 tonight in the feature event. Looking all right so far as we continue to look for more engine alternatives that are affordable for drivers.
Coming up on 2 laps to go here in heat number 1, Dave Flanagan Jr. getting to inch his way out from the field just that much more. Luke Carlton firmly holding on to that second spot. And fast Freddie Carlton, the brother, is not too far behind him in the 3rd spot. And Ryan Susie holding on to the 3rd, followed by Matt Williamson. White flag in the air for heat number 1, Dave Flanagan Jr. your leader.
Flanagan looking for the first heat win of the year in that 74. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. It's Flanagan, Luke Carlton, Freddie Carlton, Ryan Susie, Matt Williamson at the checkers. Flanagan hangs on over Luke Carlton, Freddie Carlton, Susie, Williamson. Good battle for 6 there as Ferry hangs on to get that over Wood. Podwinski and Gordon. They fire together out of corner number 4. Good to see Shane Pierce back at the racetrack after another scary, wild ride in that 88, his second of the year. And Van Mel's going to go high and way off the racetrack. That's going to cost him all of his track position. As we come to complete lap number 1, it's going to be Gordon, I believe, by a nose.
Pretty competitive battle going out there in heat number 2 for the lead. The 72 of Tanner Podwinski and Todd Gordon battling it out for the lead. And it's actually Podwinski, he's trying to go to that outside line to swing around. He's got the lead, but Todd Gordon is not too far with them. And look out for Brad Rouse, he's in 3rd also.
Podwinski leads Gordon, Rouse, Pierce, Bicknell, and Lindbergh doing battle there for 5th position. They're going to be doing battle for the championship over the next couple of weeks, as it is very tight in the modifieds right now as they run. Having a look at those standings again. Sounds like Matt Williamson will miss next week, so he's out of the equation. It's Susie out in front of Lindbergh by 6 points, and Bicknell 16 points back. Need a big night from Pete to keep his championship hopes alive as Podwinski continues to lead this heat.
Coming up on 3 laps to go here in heat number 2. Tanner Podwinski out in front, good ride from him. Todd Gordon still firmly holding on to that 2nd spot. Brad Rouse out there in 3rd. Gary Lindbergh, who started out at the back of the pack, is now on his way up in the 4th. Shane Pierce also in the mix in 5th. 2 laps to go. It is Tanner Podwinski, your leader.
2 to go, now a lap and a half to go as Podwinski thunders down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Out on a Saturday night cruise in search of his first heat win on the season. White flag in the air. Podwinski leads Gordon, Rouse, Lindbergh, Pierce. Down the back straightaway. Podwinski. Then it's Gordon, Rouse, Lindbergh. Into the front stretch, the home stretch here. Podwinski gets it done over Gordon, Rouse, Lindbergh, and Pierce. And I believe that makes 17 different heat winners on the year in the modifieds here at Merrittville.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Congrats to Tina Ronning and her family. Flag is up, pedals are down, away we go into these 6s. And it's Dimitro quickly going to the front, followed by Duga. Duga around the outside, trying to take the lead through 1 and 2. Still staying there even on the bottom side is Dimitro, not letting Duga get away just yet. Into 3 and 4, though. Duga's going to go around the outside, and he'll take the lead.
1 lap in, and a big move from Dustin Duga, who started out at the very back of the pack. He is now firmly out in front into the lead. The 13Z of Zach Dimitro, who started out in 4th. He's now up there in the 2nd. And the 16C of Chris Mussett now into 3rd. 2 laps in, 10 to go in this feature race. It is Double D Dustin Duga out in front as your leader.
Tina Ronning is around up on the high side of turn number 4. That is going to bring out a yellow. Coming back green this time. Dimitro trying to keep the pressure on Duga. Gets a great jump from the inside. Duga, however, uses the outside line to power down into corners 1 and 2. He'll go around Dimitro. Top 2 cars break away from the rest of the pack. Ronning back up to 4th, looking for more as she is underneath the 16C of Mussett going into corners 1 and 2. Little bit of contact there. Oh, bit of a slide up the racetrack is Ronning from the bottom side right in front of Cushman. That allows Mussett to get right back. Good racing at the back of the pack here. But up front, Dustin Duga starting to really drive away with this one over Dimitro.
Coming up on 4 laps in. 8 to go here in this V6 feature. Dustin Duga still firmly out in front after that little restart. The 13Z of Dimitro firmly out there in second, and the Chris Mussett still holding on into that 3rd spot with Tina Ronning in 4th. Actually, it's side by side now for that spot going as well. And Ronning just overtook. 5 laps in, 7 to go. Double D, Dustin Duga out in front.
Ronning back to 4th. Duga still out in front of this one, leading. You're going to see Dustin Duga a little bit later in the Van Sickle Pet Value PV on the Lane 4 cylinders as well, as that's where he pilots the other 14 Double D that we'll see tonight. What does he have for us there, running his first year in the 4 cylinders after what was a very dominant season last year for the 14 Double D, and it's continued into this year in this limited exhibition series, the V6s this year. Duga out front, Dimitro, Mussett, Ronning, and Cushman. Coming to 5 to go.
Past the halfway mark, Dustin Duga firmly out in front, making it look easy right now at this point with 5 laps to go. Positions really have not changed at the moment. 13Z of Dimitro still holding on to that 2nd spot, and Chris Mussett in 3rd. Well past a full straightaway lead at this point for Dustin Duga. 4 laps to go. He is just making it look easy right now. He is your leader.
Bit of a wide turn there from the 16C of Mussett as he went up the racetrack in corner number 4 and down the back straightaway. Ronning doing a good job hanging on to 4th as Cushman continues to look high, now looking low. The battle is on for the 4th spot down the back straightaway, side by side into corner number 4. Ronning on the outside in the 27, trying to hang on to it. Cushman with the slide job right up in front. He'll clear to position number 4. Good battle there as it's still Ronning looking to the inside. Maybe a bit of contact there with Cushman. Ronning's going to spin it around, and that should put us under yellow once again. Cushman and Ronning get together. Ronning gets the worst of it, and we are under yellow with 2 to go. U-Pick Auto Parts Pace Truck is in. 2 laps to settle it here. Dimitro all over the back bumper of Duga, but can he hang there? Duga already gone, gapping him by multiple cars into corner number 1. Duga, Dimitro, Mussett, Cushman, Ronning, that's your 5. Coming to the white flag this time. Dustin Duga in control, Dimitro looking low. Trying to close up on the dominant car. One car going a little sideways there, Mussett, and then Cushman goes wide, and lots of action at the back of the pack, but we've taken the white flag one more time around. Duga, Dimitro, Mussett, Ronning's going to get 4th from Cushman down the back straightaway. Out of corner number 4, Dustin Duga, he's going to take yet another win. That's checkered flag number 5 on the year for him over Dimitro, Mussett, Ronning, and Cushman. Dustin Duga climbing out into Pleasant View Victory Lane, a winner once again. Don't forget, race fans, if you purchased a 50-50 ticket, it will be drawn in Victory Lane by Dustin. Give a call to Dustin Duga, win number 5 on the year in the 4-cylinder, or in the 6 cylinders. He's got the 4 cylinders up next. Dustin, tell us about the drive and another great performance from you in the 14 Double D.
Yeah, car's just still doing great. Track's always amazing, and here we are again, and we'll go jump in the Mini next.
Congratulations, good luck in the mini stock. Take your photos, grab us a 50-50 win for the Jessica Lynn camera fundraiser. Getting ready to come back to green here. Flag is up, pedals are down, away we go in the 4 cylinders. Into corner number 1, 3 wide already through the middle of the pack. It's the eye of the storm. With Daytona being rained out tonight on the NASCAR side, why don't we enjoy some 3 wide racing, maybe even some drafting at a slower speed here tonight, and hopefully no big one in the 4 cylinders, as it is tight and almost 4 wide into corner number 1 for a brief moment there.
1 lap in, Richard Hadler out there in front so far. Kenny Hare has moved on up in the second, and he's looking to go to, looks to be the inside line, side by side between Vincent Pagnotta and that number 38, Essa Viftati for the 3rd spot. 2 laps in, pretty competitive battle out there to number 77 out there in the moat, but he got it back on. And it's side by side between Hare and Hadler.
Harrowing moments for our points leader, Tyler LaFontaine, is right in front of him, underneath him, the 77, our pole sitter, McDonald, just really cranked it in there and almost took him out. Down into corner number 1, it's Kenny Hare coming away with the advantage now. Hare leads. Pagnotta, Barrick, DeBoer, and Hadler. Kenny Hare still out in front of this one.
4 laps down, 12 to go. Kenny Hare's out there in front, Vincent Pagnotta. Actually, both of them beginning to separate themselves just a little bit. Clinton Barrick, who started out in the 11th spot, is now moved his way on up into the 3rd spot, and the 23 of Trevor DeBoer, who started out in 7th, he has moved his way on up into 4th. Kenny Hare is your leader, 5 laps in with 11 laps to go.
Things starting to get a little bit calmer, at least amongst the front 5, but from about 6th position on back, you can throw a blanket over 4 cars. Austin Wershow, Tyler LaFontaine, Richard Hadler, and John Lubeck all doing battle there, just outside the top 5. Good racing from them. Down into corner number 1, Hare in pursuit by Pagnotta. Down the back straightaway, a little bit more of a distance now between Pagnotta. Hare still controlling things. It's Hare, Pagnotta, Barrick, DeBoer, and Hughes. And just getting a report now, the 14 double D. Tough break for our feature winner from the V6s. Dustin Duga has a flat tire. He'll take it pit side.
Coming up on 8 laps in, almost halfway through. And with Vincent Pagnotta and Kenny Hare beginning to separate themselves, they're beginning to encounter some lap traffic, that being the 124 of Stephen Ellis. So they do have to be careful there. Negotiated that just fine. They're still holding on strong to that 1st and 2nd spot. Clinton Barrick is still holding on strong into 3rd. And the number 23 of Trevor DeBoer still out there in 4th. 9 laps in, Kenny Hare still out in front.
With as dominant of a season as Tyler LaFontaine has had, you would assume that the points championship is all but wrapped up, but that's not exactly the case. Trevor DeBoer is within striking distance, 52 points. It's going to take a lot for him to be able to knock the championship title off of Tyler LaFontaine's mantle, but LaFontaine right now running behind DeBoer, so DeBoer gaining some points ever so slightly on our championship leader, Tyler LaFontaine, who's trying to come through the field after starting about mid-pack in this one. Out in front, it's still Hare, and contact! Pagnotta getting into it with the lap car, the 77 of McDonald. That just killed all of Pagnotta's momentum, and now the 77's almost going to drive into DeBoer. Yeah, that got real hairy, and it's getting hairy again down the back straightaway as Winiger is there on the outside of Barrick and Pagnotta, who are trying to fight for 2nd place. Great racing air amongst the top 3 cars. Winiger is going to take it to the moat to try to stay out of the way this time. LaFontaine's going to slide it in, make contact with Hughes. Hughes is going to make contact with, I believe, the 14L, and that will bring out a yellow. Problem for the 10J of Jeremy Hughes, who got door slammed that last time by Tyler LaFontaine into corner number 1. flag back in the air, and it's Kenny Hare out front. They're almost 3 wide for second. Pagnotta and Barrick doing battle there. DeBoer and LaFontaine, the championship front runners, they're side by side working over each other for fourth. Everybody chasing Kenny Hare through 3 and 4, coming to 4 to go.
2 laps to go. Kenny Hare still out in front after that restart, edging his way out just that much more. It's about a 3-car battle there for that second spot, or actually it's now 2. Clinton Barrick and Vincent Pagnotta. Also Tyler LaFontaine is there as well. Last lap, it is Kenny Hare out in front.
1 lap to go now for Tyler LaFontaine or Vincent Pagnotta, Clinton Barrick, somebody to try to run down Kenny Hare. Kenny Hare's just scooted away quietly from everybody here, and he is coming to collect another checkered. It's going to be win number 3 on the year for Kenny Hare, and I believe roughly this math should give Tyler LaFontaine the track championship in the 4 cylinders with that 3rd place finish. It's Hare, Pagnotta, LaFontaine, Barrick, Worstrow, their top 5 unofficially. I believe that should put the 96 as your track champion. We'll find that out later in the week when points are official with 1 week to go. But Kenny Hare, your winner tonight. The 5K wraps up feature win number 3 on the year. Climbing out a winner once again. Give a call to Kenny Hare. He's fired up. Win number 3 on the year in the 4 cylinders. Kenny, talk to us about the drive. Very impressive performance. I think you had a crew guy tell you were up by like 8 car lengths or whatever it was before that caution, and then you drove off from it on that little shootout there. So tell us about the drive.
I was just on a mission tonight, just trying to drive as clean as we could, try to get up to the front. After that first caution, my clutch pedal ended up breaking, so I had absolutely no clutch those last few laps. I just gave it our best shot, and here we are.
Who do you want to thank for the win here tonight, Kenny?
First of all, I want to thank Jeremy Cooper from Cooper Motorsports for helping me get the car ready. I'd like to thank my girlfriend Kate for putting up with all the work we do. I also got to thank LKQ Niagara, Teddy from Go Getters for the rims, EJ Auto, Gutter Dunn, and R&R Renovations. Thanks to everyone that helps.
Congratulations, Kenny Hare, win number 3 in the Van Sickle Pet Value PV on the Lane 4 cylinders here at Merrittville Speedway. Up next, the Rona Dodge Mod Lights. Lights are out on the U-Pick Auto Parts Merrittville Speedway Pace Truck. Cornish and Winger. Flag is up, pedals are down, away we go. Cornish gets a little squirrely on the start, but he's going to go extremely onto the low side through 1 and 2. Winger around the high side in the 4, trying to bring Rob Meisner with him in the 6 car. Meanwhile, Josh Schleiter and Brent Bigelow side by side, going to make it 3 wide with RJ Pitts in the middle there for about 4th position. And for lap 1's going to go to Winger over Meisner, Cornish, Pitts, and Bigelow.
1 lap in, Tyler Winger inching his way out in front just a little bit there. Good ride from him so far. Number 6 of Rob Meisner is there in the second. Brent Bigelow's make himself into the mix. Going onto that inside line to try to catch Meisner, and he's going to do just that. Swinging onto that inside line to catch him. He's going to go for Tyler Winger as we go through, coming up on the 3rd lap.
It's Winger, Bigelow, Meisner, Pitts, Schleiter now the top 5. Cornish, Watson side by side, and side by side for the lead is Winger and Bigelow. Winger got a couple feature wins early in the year at the expense of Brent Bigelow. Now Bigelow trying to get back by and drive off from Tyler Winger into 3 and 4. Coming around to the front stretch here, it's Bigelow now leading. Winger, Schleiter, and Meisner are side by side as they're trying to settle 3rd place here. Just 4 laps into this one, it's Bigelow, Winger, Schleiter, Meisner, and Pitts.
Coming up on 5 laps in, 5 down, 15 to go, and we do have a yellow flag out.
1 car around, can't see quite which race vehicle it is. The race med vehicle blocking us for it. Oh, excuse me, that's the 1 of Dylan Schleiter. So it'll be Winger and Schleiter, or excuse me, Winger and Bigelow on the front row. Schleiter 3rd, Meisner 4th for this restart. Bigelow gets a great jump from the inside line while Winger slides up the racetrack, and he'll immediately surrender second spot as Josh Slider gets by on the inside. So now Bigelow out front of Josh Slider. Meisner and Winger are side by side for third and fourth. RJ Pitts 3 wide on the bottom side. It's Ryan Anderson trying to go through the middle, and Watson on the outside. But now the battle's on for the lead. Out of corner number 2. Down low, it's the 16 of Bigelow. On the high side, it's Slider in the 17 as they work into 3 and 4. Still side by side. Bigelow down low. Still trying to hold off Josh Slider, who swings it around the outside. Side by side at the stripe, and it's still Bigelow out front. We've got another yellow as Cornish, and I believe that is the Buscom 71 ride also involved in that one. And caution is out once again. U-Pick Auto Parts Pace Truck pulls it into the infield. Bigelow and Slider bring him back to green. And again, Slider struggles from that outside line, similarly to how Winger did. On the outside through 1 and 2, though, he'll fight back and try to get alongside Bigelow down the back straightaway. Working into 3 and 4, top 2 drivers in the series. They are trying to settle the points championship between themselves. Slider's going to need a lot of help if he wants to defeat Bigelow in the series standings. Bigelow out front doing him no favors as they still work side by side.
7 laps in, 13 to go. Brent Bigelow and Josh Slider separating themselves, and we got another yellow flag. And a red flag too.
Huge incident on the backstretch. Red flag is out. RJ Pitts, the car that went over on its side after being hit by Leroy Buscom there. Safety crews on the scene working away there as we are under a red flag condition. Pitts went around up off of corner number 2, and Buscom just drove into the Pitts machine with nowhere to go, trying to figure out which way to go. Both drivers are okay after that wild ride up off of corner number 4. Got the report from the safety crews there. Both drivers okay. U-Pick Auto Parts Pace Truck is in. It's Bigelow and Slider coming back to green. A pretty fast restart there. Bigelow edges out in front. Slider committed to the high side. Is going to try to get alongside once again. 13 laps to go in this one. Still lots of time on the board. Into 3 and 4. Josh Slider on the outside. In the 17 car. Bigelow's going to clear up in front of him. And the Seaway Fluid Power 16 still leads.
8 laps down, 12 to go. Brent Bigelow and Josh Slider still separating themselves from the field after that restart. Bigelow out in front and beginning to encounter some lap traffic with that number 26 about to. Have to be careful there. 9 laps in, almost halfway through this feature race. It is Brent Bigelow out in front, Josh Slider not too far behind him.
Bigelow, Slider, Meisner, Winger. RJ Pitts, who was on his side just a few moments ago, is back out making laps here in that 26 car. Bigelow in hot pursuit is Josh Slider. Meisner sits there third. Winger fourth. Sean Iftati trying to move his way up inside the top 5. While Slider tries to keep pace with Brent Bigelow. Bigelow, Slider, Meisner, Winger, Iftati, your top 5.
Past the halfway mark, 9 laps to go. Bigelow and Slider still out in front there. Bigelow in the lead. Battle going on almost for that 4th and 5th spot with Tyler Winger and that number 27 car of Sean Iftati. 8 laps to go. It is still a good duel out there between Brent Bigelow and Josh Slider, with Brent Bigelow out in front.
Bigelow out front. Turning our attention to the point standings, this is one of the closer battles as Bigelow only 20 points up on Josh Slider coming into tonight's action. And Slider starting to close in on that lead. Using the high side once again. Here comes Josh Slider. It's down to 2 car lengths. Into 3 and 4. RJ Pitts, the lap car. Going to be a little bit of traffic here for our leaders, Bigelow and Slider. Bigelow still with the lead. Slider works to the outside. RJ Pitts, nowhere to go. He's kind of stuck there in the middle. That's going to jam up both of them. Bigelow goes to the inside. Slider goes to the outside. They split him one car around. It's the 8 car right in front of our leaders as well. Gavin Hill in the 8 spins it in corners 3 and 4, and we're under yellow again with 6 laps to go. Lights are out on the U-Pick Auto Parts Pace Truck with 6 to go. Coming back to the green flag this time. Bigelow and Slider. Top 2 drivers in the series. Slider looking for win number 4. Bigelow looking for win number 10 on the year. They're side by side down the back straightaway. Wheel to wheel, nose to nose into 3 and 4. It's Slider up on the high side, Bigelow down low. Coming to 5 to go at the stripe, and it's Slider out in front now.
5 laps to go. Josh Slider is committed to that outside line, and he just took the lead away from Brent Bigelow, but Brent Bigelow is not letting him forget that, and he's onto that inside line to try to retake the lead, and he's going to do just that. Great move from Bigelow with 4 laps to go. Number 6 and Rob Meisner in 3rd. Boy, it's going to be a good duel with 4 laps to go.
Not if Brent Bigelow can help it. He's trying to drive away from Josh Slider. 1 car around on the low side of 1 and 2. That is the 8 machine again. Yellow flag is out again. Bigelow's going to have to take some evasive maneuvers there. Yellow, yellow, yellow once again with 3 to go now. U-Pick Auto Parts Pace Truck is in. Bigelow leading them back to green. Another pretty quick start from Bigelow. Slider trying to keep pace as well as Meisner, Iftati, and Winger. Slider goes to the outside through 1 and 2, trying to find the line to get around Bigelow, who's glued to the bottom side. Coming at 2 laps to go this time, and Brent Bigelow is out in front. Josh Slider keeping pace.
2 laps to go. Bigelow still out in front. However, Josh Slider, he's right there with him. He's doing all he can to try to catch Bigelow. He's still committed to that outside line to catch him. Coming up onto the white flag, the last lap. Bigelow's still out in front, but Josh Slider's going to make it look interesting in this last lap.
On into 1. It looks like Slider's a little better on entry, but Bigelow just gets a great drive off on the bottom side. He gaps Slider. Slider's going to have to really sail it in if he wants to make it close. Coming to the stripe. Brent Bigelow's going to win feature to win number 10 on the year over Josh Slider. Rob Meisner, Tyler Winger, Chris Watson spins it on the final corner. Coming to the checkers. It's Bigelow, Slider, Meisner, Winger, Iftati, your top 5. Here he is, coming out the top side. Brent Bigelow, winner in the Pleasant View Victory Lane. Rona Deutsch Mod Lights. Brent, we're talking again. 10th time on the air, can you believe it? Talk to us about holding off Josh there and that commitment to the low side.
Yeah, never mind me. How about that 17, eh? Josh, he gave us a good go there, and he always does. You got to respect him, man. He's been doing it a long time. Like I said, a lot of track championships. So he's a really, really good friend of mine, and we hang out lots outside the racetrack. So it's super fun to battle against him. I really enjoy it. And yeah, it was good. Track was pretty good tonight and racy in multiple lanes. I seen 17 roll on the top there. So I knew there was something up there if I needed to. So yeah, we just stuck to the bottom, and you know, it seemed to be holding out and pretty good. So you know, it was a good run, good job on the team and everyone involved.
Who do you want to thank for the win here tonight, Brent?
All the 16 fans, you know, getting out and hearing those cheers, you know, that's what keeps me going. I know I'm a youngster, but I don't know how many more years I got left. So yeah, I don't know. It's good to hear those cheers, and everyone that's listening that cheers for me, I appreciate it. I hear it. So keep cheering, so it keeps me digging.
Unofficially 24-point advantage heading into the final week over his good pal Josh Slider. Championship not quite over just yet in the Mod Lights, heading into the final points night of the year. Up next, our Hoosier Stocks at Merrittville.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror, every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Going 20 laps in the Hoosier stocks tonight. You Pick Auto Parts Pace Truck is in. It's Want and Lampman on the front row. Green is up, pedals are down, into corner one they go, and Want slides up the racetrack, but so does Lampman, and that's going to open up a three-wide battle for the lead with Pelrine going to get through first. Then Bailey trying to follow suit on the inside. Jason Fontaine's there on the low side. Look at Bailey shoving in there. Wow, what a great race on lap number 1 already. Pelrine leads lap 1 over Bailey, Want, Fontaine, and Jim Lampman. 3 wide, 2 rows back. Wow. Tight racing for the Hoosier stocks already, and it's Bailey and Pelrine out in front of it all. So far, coming to 2 laps in.
Well, fans, I'll tell you what, we're getting our money's worth 2 laps into this Hoosier stock feature. Kyle Pelrine out in front, Dave Bailey right there with him on that inside line. He is there in the second. Pete Reed and the number 05 out there in third. Jason Fontaine out there in fourth. 3 laps into this Hoosier stock feature. It is Kyle Pelrine out in front.
Pelrine leads. Bailey, Reed, Fontaine. Single file amongst the front 4. Then it's side by side for 5th. Donnie Lampman trying to get past Trevor Want. Jim Lampman lurking there in 7th. Sheehan. Then the 25 of Sargent. Then they're 3 wide for 10th as cars go sideways and slipping around off of 4. Battles on for the lead. Pelrine trying to hold off Dave Bailey. Bailey keeps working it to the inside, but hasn't found a way around Pelrine just yet. Once again, sticks his nose to the inside through 3 and 4. The Brewster Baker 49 ride of Dave Bailey not able to get the lead yet.
5 laps in, Pelrine still out in front. However, Dave Bailey really out there, almost pretty aggressive there at that point, trying to find another line to catch Pelrine. He's going to try to go on that outside there. Pete Reed also there in the mix as well. Single file 1 through 4. Reed out there in third, Fontaine out there as well. And 28 of Jim Lampman, I do believe, is there in 5th. 6 laps in, Pelrine is still out in front.
Bailey says, you're not going to give me the bottom, I'll go to the top side now. Through 3 and 4, Dave Bailey on the outside of Kyle Pelrine. Pelrine in the 47, still continues to lead and hold off Bailey. Pete Reed starting to creep into that picture for the lead. Around the outside, still Bailey working up beside the Pelrine 47 machine. Those are your top 2 in the point standings, but Bailey is way out in front of that championship chase. He's pretty much got that thing locked up just by starting tonight's event. Bailey around the outside of the 47, trying to take the lead. Hasn't been able to clear the 47. Pelrine still down there low side, doing battle there. It's a good race for the lead heading into 3 and 4.
Coming up on 9 laps in. Dave Bailey, Kyle Pelrine, and Pete Reed separating themselves from the field just that much more. Dave Bailey out in front, but Kyle Pelrine is still right there in the mix with him. On that inside line, Pete Reed in third. And the number 25 of Ken Sargent is there in the 4th. Good showing from him. And Jason Fontaine is now up there into 5th. Halfway through the Hoosier stock feature, it is Dave Bailey once again out in the lead, and the number 19 taking it into the pits.
Yeah, that last time by, Trevor won, and the 19 looped it up off of corner number 4. Not sure if there was a flat or some other issue on that machine, but he takes it pit side. We stay green. He was able to keep it rolling. Everybody chasing Dave Bailey now. It's Bailey out front of Pelrine. Reed, Sargent, and Fontaine, the top 5 as we are just past halfway now with 9 laps to go, coming to 8 to go. It's Bailey, Pelrine, Reed, Sargent, Fontaine. Single file amongst the top 10 now in the Hoosier stocks.
The top 3 cars still separating themselves from the field. Bailey, Pellrine, and Pete Reed are going to be encountering some lap traffic. The first one being the number 50 car of Chris Schneider, so they do have to be careful there. Make sure they negotiate that just carefully. Looks like they're going to be doing that. Dave Bailey still out in front. And Kyle Pellrine still holding on into second. Pete Reed in third. And Sargent and Fontaine round out the top 5 with 7 laps to go in this feature. Coming up on 6 laps, Dave Bailey out in front.
6 to go for Dave Bailey. Bailey, Pellrine, Reed. Bailey starting to get a little bit of distance between himself in second place, Kyle Pellrine. Again, taking a look at the driver standings in the Hoosier Stocks, Bailey has a 133-point lead coming in tonight. So that championship all but over. It's Dave Bailey going to be the track champion here again. Kyle Pellrine currently running second on the racetrack, is second in points over Donnie Lampman, who sits third. And in this race, Lampman just outside the top 5 now, chasing down Jason Fontaine for that spot. Bailey continues to lead. Pellrine, Reed, and looks like a right front flat on the Klazinga machine, starting to really open up some sheet metal on that ride as he continues to just limp it around and try to stay on the track.
Coming up on 3 laps to go here in this feature, and Dave Bailey beginning to break away from the pack here. He is way out in front at this point, and now he is just about opening over about a 3.5 second lead over the 05 of Pete Reed, who is there in second. And Ken Sargent now up there into third. Jason Fontaine holding steady into fourth. 2 laps to go. Dave Bailey in that Brewster Baker 49 right beginning to break away for another Hoosier Stock win.
It's Bailey out front. Pellrine, Reed, your top 3. Donnie Lampman trying to reel in the 1J of Fontaine. Hasn't been able to get close enough yet. White flag in the air one more time around for track champion, potentially Dave Bailey here. It's Bailey, Pellrine. A little bit of smoke coming off the Pete Reed 05. Not sure if that's a tie. One car around. That's Brad Sheehan in the 2, who's looped it in the final corner. And we are yellow. Driver's not going to take the checkers here. And it should set up a green-white checkered overtime finish in the Hoosier Stocks. Bailey was just half a track away from grabbing that win. U-Pick Auto Parts pace truck is in, coming for a 2-lap shootout. Bailey leads him in real slow. Single file restart plays right into his favor. Kyle Pellrine trying to hold on close to him. Other drivers trying to make their moves. Jim Lampman goes to the extreme outside, trying to break into the top 5. Jason Fontaine trying to muscle by Ken Sargent. Kyle Pellrine trying to make a move for the lead. Instead, he's going to get a little love tap from the crazy alien, Pete Reed. Everybody chasing. Dave Bailey coming to the white flag. One more time around. It's Bailey out front. Pellrine, Reed, Fontaine, Sargent, Jim Lampman. Bailey leads into 3 and 4 for the final time. Coming to the checkered flag. Bailey's going to win it over Kyle Pellrine, Pete Reed, Jason Fontaine, and Ken Sargent, as we had a good run to the stripe there between the 1J, the 25, the 28s as well in that race. But Dave Bailey is going to get win number 9 on the year in the Hoosier Stocks. And with that, that should unofficially crown him track champion. I'm pretty sure he already had it coming into tonight's race, but those points really going to start to stretch things out. Give a call to Dave Bailey, coming out the winner once again. Dave, come on around. Unofficially, that should make you track champion, but win number 9 on the year. Talk to us about the drive and the great field of Hoosier Stock competitors that you have beaten here once again.
Yeah, it's good that extra cars showed up tonight, and we appreciate that. It's fun racing against these guys. Pellrine had a real good run. The racetrack was just kind of real weird. In the heat race, no cars wanted to turn, and even in that feature, like, you went in the corner and everything just wanted to go straight, none wanted to turn. So kind of just had to real back the corner up and slow it down and just stick to the rail. Other than that, yeah, it was a great run.
Who do you want to thank for the drive here tonight and the win?
I got both my kids here tonight. My dad, thanks to them, and Queenston Chev, Jibs Action Sports as always.
Congratulations, Dave Bailey, win number 9 on the year in the Hoosier Stocks. One more week for the Hoosier Stocks and one more chance for Dave Bailey to collect another win. Points leaders, Matthew Bardier, Jacob Dykstra in second, Darren Dryden runs third, Stratford, Alan Downey. That's your top 5 in points. We'll see how it shakes out tonight as the Action Sprint Tour is under green. Staley trying to drive away from Van Every. Around the outside looking is the Dykstra 5D machine. Nowhere to go. Instead, it's going to be Bardier using his track position. Look at the move from Dykstra. Wow, Dykstra. He's going to go to the lead. Power move from Dykstra. Bardier trying to keep with him on the bottom side, but he set that move up basically off of corner number 2. One car off. It's the 77 of Paulus. He's going to keep it going. But Dykstra through 3 and 4 is just a man possessed. He has got that corner figured out right now, and he is driving off from the field.
What an amazing move from Jacob Dykstra in the early goings to take the lead. He got shut out of a cannon there as he's committed to that outside line. And Matthew Barjay's there in second. The 50 of Adrian Staley, who started out in first. He's now in the third. 3 laps in, I'll tell you what. Jacob Dykstra is out to win this race tonight. Let's see what happens here in this early going.
Mike Bowman trying to come through the field. He started 6th. He's trying to work over the Van Every machine for 4th. Underneath him, he'll clear him into corner number 1 and 2. Bardier and Staley doing battle for second there. Bardier slipping back into the clutches of Staley, who went around the outside. Now it's going to be a crossover move. Bardier will get back by for second. But what a move from Jacob Dykstra. I'm not sure if he planned that or if it was a happy accident, but he just perfectly used the D-shaped back straightaway to his advantage, and he continues to pace this field with immense speed at the front.
6 laps in, and I'll tell you what, Jacob Dykstra is just flying around that course right now. He is about a full straightaway lead over Adrian Staley, and Adrian Staley and Matthew Barjay, who's out there in third. And 7 laps in, it has been all Jacob Dykstra. If he can keep up this momentum, my goodness, he's going to be flying before long.
Dykstra starting to encounter lap traffic already. Works around one of the race cars there at the back of the pack. That should be the 85C of Cam McKinnon, I believe. Now the next car will be his team car, the Tyler Powless 77T, who got a little wide and handsome on the initial start of this one. That dropped him towards the back of the pack from his starting position. Dykstra continuing to just put cars a lap down. Next up will be the Lance Erskine 88 machine. Dykstra trying to find a way around. He's committed to the outside, and he is putting together one heck of a show as the field is coming to 10 laps in this time.
10 laps in, 15 to go. Jacob Dykstra with about a 2.5 second lead at this point. He's doing a pretty good job at avoiding that lap traffic as best as he possibly can. There is a lot of them there, and he is just leaving in the dust at this point. And it has been a really great ride from him. 11 laps in, 14 to go. Jacob Dykstra still out in front. Great ride from him so far.
Mike Bowman trying to work his way up inside to the second spot. He's already up to third, and he's got his sights set on Adrian Staley, who's got a whole bunch of lap traffic in front of him, including the 77 of Powless. Bardier coming under fire from Brett Stratford for the 4th position. Everybody chasing Dykstra, who goes by the stripe now. Out of corner number 4, we see Bowman and Staley almost side by side. Bowman using the bottom side, going to try to get underneath Staley using the 77 as a pick. Here comes Mike Bowman, the 71 Seaway Fluid Power Machine, to second in the Action Sprint Tour.
Past the halfway mark, and with Jacob Dykstra still firmly out in front. Battle right now going on for that second spot, currently occupied by Mike Bowman. He's beginning to inch his way out just a little bit more over that number 50 LS car of Adrian Staley. Matthew Barjay holding on in the 4th, and Brett Stratford in the BS39 in 5th. 10 laps to go. Jacob Dykstra still out in front.
Dykstra still in control of this one with 10 to go. Coming to 9 to go now, as the Austin Rose machine will be the next car to put a lap down. That's 11th place Austin Rose. Seth Roy in the 16 are also there in 10th. Dykstra heading into corner number 3. Still trying to extend his lead over Mike Bowman. Dykstra leads. Bowman now second. Is 3 seconds back. Picked up almost a second and a half that lap. So Bowman is coming as Dykstra continues to work through heavy lap traffic.
7 laps to go. Dykstra still out in front. However, Mike Bowman is in there in second, and now it's a 2.5 second lead for Jacob Dykstra. Mike Bowman is now beginning to fly and is beginning to gain on Jacob Dykstra, if only a lap by lap. 6 laps to go, coming up on 6 laps to go rather. Jacob Dykstra out in front, but look out for Mike Bowman. He is now 2.7 seconds behind Dykstra.
That last time Dykstra was able to get by Rose, and then on that lap he picked up another 0.2 of a second over Bowman. Now he'll get past the Seth Roy machine, and that should extend the lead even further now. Yep, almost up to 3 seconds for Dykstra. That lap traffic starting to clear in front of him. Once he gets past the 77E of Van Every here, he's going to have a little bit of open racetrack to work with, and 4 laps to go.
4 laps to go, and now it's back to nearly a 4-second lead out there for Jacob Dykstra. He is pretty much clear out in front. Almost nothing to stop him now as we come up on 3 laps to go. Mike Bowman still holding on to the second. And it's now a 4.7 second lead with 3 laps left.
Dykstra coming to 2 to go. 2 to go for Jacob Dykstra. Yellow flag is out. 1 car loops it on the low side of 1 and 2, and we are under yellow with 2 laps to go. And just like that, a 4-second plus advantage is gone. Dykstra, Bowman, Stratford, Bardier, Dryden. Very slow start there from Dykstra, and Bowman almost got the advantage there. He's going to continue to work to the inside as Dykstra was playing games. Bowman trying to keep pace. Into 3 and 4. Advantage about 3-4 car lengths for Dykstra already. Dykstra, Bowman, Stratford, your top 3. 2 to go.
2 laps to go. Dykstra still out in front after that restart. He's using that outside line to his advantage to try to gain some spots there over Bowman. However, Bowman, as we come to the last lap, is going to make him work for it.
Bowman doing all he can to try to keep pace with Dykstra, but Dykstra is in control. 3 and 4, the final corners. Here comes Jacob Dykstra, win number 2 on the season at Merrittville Speedway in the Action Sprint Tour. He wins it over Mike Bowman, Brett Stratford, Matthew Bardier, and Darren Dryden, your top 5 in the Action Sprint Tour, fueled by Pinty's here at Merrittville Speedway. As he gets ready to come around and climb the wing, give a call to Jacob Dykstra. Winner here in the Action Sprint Tour, fueled by Pinty's. Come on down and talk to us. A big smile on your face. It was obviously a dominant car. You're in control for all of it, but I think the winning move goes all the way back to that first lap. Can you take me around your first lap when you were started 4th and somehow were 1st by the time you got back around to the finish?
Well, we studied the guys that were in front of us quite a bit, and we've been watching them all year. We kind of know where they're going to run, and going into 1, I knew we were going to have to take the lead. I know we had Barjay beside us, and we had Bowman behind us, and we had to go quick and take an action right away because I knew they were going to too. So just went around the top, and I knew it was going to be heavy. We walked around here before during intermission, and there was still lots of track left. So tried it, and it worked out really good. We were able to stay with it the entire race, and then coming off of 3, me and Barjay split the 50, and yeah, it was on from there.
Congratulations. Who do you want to thank for the drive here tonight, Jacob?
Oh, I got to thank Brian Palace and all my sponsors too, Juniors Riverside Bait and Tackle, AZ Expediting, Jimmy Lohenberg, Dykstra Racing, Route 54, Castrol, 24/7 Water, and everyone that's helped out, like my dad, my cousin Seth, Dave, Cam, everyone that helps out through the week, and like all you beautiful fans for coming out here.
Congratulations. Jacob Dykstra, the winner here tonight. Let's catch up with Mike Bowman. You got a shot at him there with that restart late. Talk to us about your drive and a very methodical approach getting through all that lap traffic, including you almost started eating into that lead before that caution as he was dealing with that lap traffic. Talk to us about the drive.
Yeah, those guys were they were pretty good tonight. I knew I wasn't going to beat him just running the top, so tried to find something on the bottom, but I think the top was the spot to be, and congrats to those guys. They were just better than us tonight.
Good job, though. Brings it home second. Mike Bowman. And let's catch up with Brett Stratford. Talk to us about your night, man. You come home third. Another quality night for the BS39 ride.
Yeah, the car was awesome. It was just my crew let me down, right? They just I'm just joking. They did an awesome job. No, the car was fantastic. Just at that restart, I was just spinning the tires. I couldn't keep them under me. That was it.
Who do you want to thank for the drive here tonight, Brett?
Cliff Warner's son, Steve Robinson, and my wife, Lisa, our wicked crew. So,
great job. Brett Stratford bringing it home third. Defending modified champion Mike Bowman second, and Jacob Dykstra, your winner tonight in the Action Sprint Tour here on Country Night at Merrittville Speedway. We got our modifieds left to close out the night. Thanks for sticking with us, race fans. Thanks again to everybody who contributed to that fun as well. For Jessica Lind, getting their new camera, getting her set back up as a track photographer once again. Modifieds up next. Getting ready to come to green. We'll update you on that picture as we go. Flag is up, pedals are down, away we go in the modifieds. Luke Carlton and Todd Gordon get a little bit of contact there on the front stretch. Meanwhile, Podwinski's going to come away with the advantage over Flanagan. Pierce is trying to get up there to third, maybe even further. Couldn't quite sail it in to get to alongside the 74, but he is up to third. Give a call to Shane Pierce as he clears the Todd Gordon machine on the first lap.
Tanner Podwinski out in front in the early going. 74 of Dave Flanagan making a big move there. Almost a little bit of contact there between him and Podwinski. Shane Pierce, good to see him back there. Number 88, he's in the third position. And side by side between the 28 and the 18. 2 laps in, it is a duel between Podwinski and Flanagan.
74 down low, Flanagan. Up high, it's the 72 of Podwinski. Flanagan in a Centennial Construction Machine is going to drive away with the advantage. Flanagan leads Podwinski, Pierce, Rouse, and championship leader coming into tonight, Ryan Susi, who holds a 1-point advantage over Matt Williamson, who will miss next week's event. So Matt's going to have to make max points if he wants to somehow hang on to a track championship. More than likely, though, the championship fight is going to be between the 38 RS of Susi, the 37S of Lindbergh, and Pete McNell in the 42. One car goes jumping up on the back wheels. That was Ryan Ferry in the 1F. Wants to drive off there. Not sure if he made contact with the wall to launch him in the air, but looked like a big bounce for the Ferry United Rentals machine.
5 laps in. Dave Flanagan Jr. with a good ride from him so far. And that number 88 car of Shane Pierce, good to see him back after that rather nasty crash he had last week. Good to see him back on the track performing very well. And the 38 of Ryan Susi is now in the mix. He is now in the third after starting in the 8th spot. 7 laps in, 7 down, 28 to go. Dave Flanagan Jr. out in front here in the early going.
Flanagan leads Pierce, Susi, Rouse, and Williamson. That's your top 5. Williamson working to the outside, trying to find a way around Brad Rouse. Gary Lindbergh trying to follow suit. Lindbergh had an impressive run Thursday night at Ransomville as he was in an underpowered small block against those big blocks and brought it home third. Looking to keep up the momentum here tonight. Everybody chasing Dave Flanagan with 27 laps to go in this one.
Coming up on 9 laps in to this feature. Flanagan still out there in front. Shane Pierce out there in second. However, the number 6 of Matt Williamson, who won the Summer Nationals at Ransomville this past week, he's moving on himself into the mix. He is now in that 4th spot. Brad Rouse right there in 5th. And he's going to try to go onto that outside line. He's trying to swing way outside to catch Pierce for that 2nd spot. Not quite there, but he moved into 3rd. 10 laps in. Flanagan's still out in front, but look out for Money Matt Williamson.
Williamson is a man on a mission, and it's 3 wide for 2nd. Susi sails it in on the inside of Pierce, and he'll get the spot. Meanwhile, Williamson gets around both of them on the outside. Great move from Susi there. A little bit aggressive this early on, but he is through to third and clear of the Pierce machine. Everybody chasing Flanagan now, including Williamson, Susie, Pierce, Rouse, and Lindbergh. Bicknell also there. Championship contenders running in third, fourth, and sixth. Maybe make that seventh, excuse me, for Pete Bicknell.
Coming up on 13 laps into this feature. Flanagan still out in front. Matt Williamson committed to that outside line. He swung way out there, didn't quite catch him. Now he's going to try to go to that inside line to catch Flanagan. And now he's about side by side with Flanagan for that lead, and he just took over the lead from Dave Flanagan Jr. Ryan Susie is there into third. Gary Lindbergh now in the mix. He is there in fourth. He's on that outside line as well. And Shane Pierce in the top 5. 14 laps in. It is Matt Williamson now out in front.
Williamson leads Flanagan, Susie, Lindbergh, Pierce. Rouse and Bicknell there in 6th and 7th. Then it's Chad Chevalier 8th, Scott Wood 9th, and Tanner Podwinski 10th. Still out front is Matt Williamson, though, driving away from Dave Flanagan and Ryan Susie. A lot of cars committed to working the inside line. Bicknell up on the outside trying to find a way around Pierce and Rouse. That is a side-by-side battle for 6th currently. Bicknell's going to get by Rouse this time and try to keep pace with those other two that he's chasing in the championship. Meanwhile, Lindbergh and Susie doing battle there for 2nd. Flanagan slams the door on Susie. Here comes Lindbergh around the outside. Williamson still leads. Flanagan. Lindbergh on the outside, Susie down low in the 38 RS. Great racing amongst the top 5.
17 down, 18 to go, almost halfway through. Matt Williamson beginning to encounter some lap traffic, that being the 2 pool of Derek Van Mill, so he's got to be careful there. 3-wide battle for that 2nd spot. Look at Lindbergh go. He's swinging way on that outside line to catch Susie. He's committed to that line. And look at that. He just took over 2nd spot from Susie, but Susie's right there with him, and he just said, I'm going to still take that 2nd spot. Flanagan's still out there in the mix. Halfway through, it is Matt Williamson still out in front, but there is a good battle out there for that 2nd spot between Lindbergh and Susie.
You think these guys know there's a points title on the line? Lindbergh and Susie are the two doing battle for that championship. Williamson way out in front of this one. He leads the race. Battle's on for 2nd. Susie is going to clear Lindbergh. Lindbergh going for the crossover move down low. Susie has been really aggressive on the inside line, sailing it in underneath cars, trying to find a way by. He's gotten by Flanagan that way. He's gotten by Pierce that way. Now the lap cars are moving out of his way, but Susie hangs on to 2nd right now over championship rival Gary Lindbergh.
Over a 3-second lead out there for Matt Williamson so far. However, the battle going on right now is, well, actually, Gary Lindbergh is now into that 2nd spot. And Gary Lindbergh is there actually in the 3rd. Ryan Susie is there in 2nd. 13 laps to go. It is still Matt Williamson out in front. And don't count out the other cars there. Not over just yet.
Williamson way out in front. He's working over lap traffic. We're keeping our eye on the 2nd place battle. Susie driving away with it. Lindbergh rides in 3rd, still using that high side. Pete Bicknell trying to find a way around Dave Flanagan in the 74. Bicknell's using the middle lane now, trying to run anywhere that 74 or Flanagan isn't. Top 5 at the stripe. It's Williamson. Susie now crossing the stripe. Here's Lindbergh in 3rd. The 74 4th and the 42 5th. Pierce runs 6th. Rouse in 7th. Chevalier 8th. Wood 9th. And the battle for the final spot in the top 10 is on between Podwinski and Ferry.
Coming up on 10 laps to go here in this feature. Matt Williamson still out in front. Ryan Susie beginning to break away into that 2nd spot. Gary Lindbergh is still holding on strong in the 3rd. Pete Bicknell trying to make a move there on the 74 of Dave Flanagan to get into that 4th spot. He's trying to go to that inside line to catch him. Not quite there yet. Flanagan still holding on to that spot. 9 laps to go. It is Matt Williamson still out in front, followed by Susie.
2.9 seconds is the advantage for Williamson over Susie with 8 laps to go now. Susie rides 2nd, Lindbergh 3rd. Here comes the battle for 4th. Pete Bicknell around the outside of Flanagan is going to take it into corner number 1. Flanagan slides up the racetrack. He'll surrender the spot. Now Pete Bicknell has to start to run down Gary Lindbergh. Lindbergh holds on to the 3rd spot and is currently up on Pete Bicknell in the championship point situation. Williamson out in front. Then it's Susie, Lindbergh, Bicknell. Top cars in this class are certainly up in the front of this one right now. 6 to go for the 6th S&W Service Center ride of Matt Williamson.
6 laps to go. Coming up on 5 laps to go for Matt Williamson. He is still out in front, but a 4-second lead over Ryan Susie, who's still holding on into that 2nd spot. And Gary Lindbergh still holding on into that 3rd spot. Pete Bicknell getting himself into the mix. He's trying to chase Lindbergh. He's in that 3rd spot. Flanagan now into 5th. 4 laps to go for Muddy Matt Williamson. He is still out in front. A great ride from him tonight.
Williamson driving away. In control of this one. Kind of on an island by himself as he's coming up on 9th place. Scott Wood will be the next car that he has to put a lap down. It's 3 to go for Williamson.
3 more laps to go. Matt Williamson with almost a full straightaway lead there. Almost, actually well past a full straightaway lead over Ryan Susie as he still holds on to that 2nd spot. 2 laps to go for Matt Williamson. Battle going on. Still there. Ryan Susie still holding on to the 2nd. Lindbergh is there in 3rd. 2 laps to go for Matt Williamson.
2 to go. Coming to 1 to go this time. White flag in the air. One more time around for Matt Williamson. Out for a Saturday night cruise. Ryan Susie gonna put a good margin between himself and Gary Lindbergh in the championship. Checkers are in the air. Matt Williamson, your winner here tonight in the Core Pack Merchandising 358 Modifieds. Ryan Susie will bring it home 2nd. A great points night for him. Gary Lindbergh 3rd. Pete Bicknell 4th. And Dave Flanagan Jr. in the 74 rounds out your top 5. Unofficially looking at the standings now, Ryan Susie should have a 10-point advantage on Gary Lindbergh heading into the final week and a 20-point advantage over Pete Bicknell going into the final points race of the year next Saturday night. But tonight, it's Matt Williamson's night. We'll go and celebrate with him. Win number 10 on the year for the S&W Service Center number 6. Give a call to Matt Williamson, win number 10 on the year for the S&W Service Center number 6 here at Merrittville Speedway in the Core Pack Merchandising 358 Modifieds. Matt Williamson, another win, another Saturday night cruise. And wherever you want to put this 6 car, it seems to work for you.
Yeah, we've been playing around over at Rantsville on Friday nights trying to find something that'll work over here. And tonight we put some stuff together that we learned on Thursday, and hopefully it'll give us some good runs coming up here in the fall.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you are going to be missing next Saturday, so you're going to take yourself out of the track championship. But tell us about what has been a fantastic year for you guys. 10 wins on the year.
Yeah, really, we should have came here at the beginning of the year instead of going to Fulton, but we had to chase the money. So that was $4,000 to win down there, and we thought we had a chance at it. I ended up going up and hitting a Ute tire. So probably should have been here. We might have had a chance at clinching it tonight, but I mean. At the end of the day, you got to try and race for a living, and you got to chase the big money and try and compete down the road. So I wish everybody luck competing for a championship next week. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, I mean, my guys, we've won 10 races here. That's I think we've done it twice now. It's pretty cool to do. Pretty historic track, and it's always nice coming home. We won't be here next week, so it'll be a different winner.
And who do you want to thank for the 10th win here tonight?
Obviously, Wayne at S&W has done a lot for me. Robbie's here tonight. He's been here for the last couple of weeks, so that's good. All my crew, everybody, Becker Brothers Trucking, Optional Hose and Hydraulics, Jason Enterprises, VP Racing Oils, Williamson Welding, Barron's, Bicknell, Gordon Motors, everybody, Integra Shocks, Ibach Springs, just the whole crew.
Matt Williamson, win number 10 on the year in the Core Pack Merchandising 358 Modifieds. Next week is the final points night of the year. Unofficially, Ryan Susie will lead by, I believe, 10 points over Gary Lindbergh and lead Pete Bicknell by 20 heading into what is the final points night. Seminex Esso night here at Merrittville. Don't forget about all the amazing door prizes that Seminex group puts together for us race fans who come out on Seminex Esso night. We hope to see you next Saturday as we hope to hand out some championship hardware unofficially. For track owners Don and Lorraine Speece, for my co-host William Morrison, I'm Jonathan Howe. Big thank you again to everybody who helped contribute to Jessica Lynn's camera fund and getting her back shooting race cars and taking beautiful pictures around this amazing facility here. Whatever you got up to, we hope your Saturday night was more than just all right. And we will see you next Saturday for 7XS night, the final points night of the year here at Merrittville Speedway.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GForceTV. GForceTV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.